Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks again for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing our first ball testing review. Today we are going to be comparing the Pro V1X, the left dash version, against the Pro V, the standard version. We are also going to be comparing that against the brand new 2024 AVXs. And on top of that, we're going to throw the TP5Xs in there. And then we do have one sleeve. I have not hit them yet from last year. I'm afraid I'm going to like them too much, but they are the Pro V1 left dots. The left dots were released. Titleist said that they fit only about less than 5% of the standard golfers. So instead of releasing them and having everyone buy them, since that's what the pros were playing, and not liking them and giving them a bad rap, they actually pulled them from production. So you can't really buy them anymore unless you find them on eBay. Titleist, they have them on their website, but they've been out of stock for about 2 years now. Last year, I did play the left dashes. I like them, but after midway through the season, you just couldn't find them anywhere. So I switched over to the Pro V1s. I like the Pro V1s. I don't know if I really saw a big difference between both of them. I think I like the Pro V1s better. Today we're going to go ahead, we'll look at the launch numbers, we'll see what our spin numbers are off the drive. The reason I never played the AVXs is they were super straight, super low spinning, low launching, but they were terrible around the greens. So I never really played them, so we'll see if they fix those. We'll be hitting some 50-yard shots. No, we'll probably do 75. We'll do 75, maybe around 160, and then we'll hit the driver. We'll kind of see what those numbers are. And then one thing that we are going to do when we are done, we're actually going to go ahead and see if we can do a little Mythbusters here. We're going to take one of each of those golf balls, minus probably the left dots because I want to save those, but all the other golf balls, and we're going to throw them in this jar, this mason jar, just full of water. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and leave them soaking for about a month. And we're going to go ahead and test to see if a water-soaked ball, how it performs versus a brand new ball. So we'll have all this data, we'll save it, and then we'll go ahead and hit those balls that have been soaking for about a month and see if the numbers are any different. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so that way you can get notified when we go ahead and release that video in a month. But we'll throw them in there, then they're just going to go ahead and sit over there for about a month. If the numbers aren't too different, maybe we'll throw them back in there and leave them in there for another 2 months and just kind of play around with it and see if pulling a water out of the ball is worth it, or if playing a ball that you find in the woods is worth it. So let's go ahead and jump right on in here. We'll go ahead and start with the 75-yard shots. For me, that's just about a 3/4 56 wedge. Let's go ahead and start with the left dashes, and we'll just kind of go down the line here. All these golf balls are brand new. I haven't hit any of them yet, so we'll go ahead and just pull them right on out. What I'll do is I'll hit about 10. I'll probably fast forward this so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. And then we'll come back and we'll run through all the data side by side, see what the numbers are coming out to be, see if there is a big difference, and maybe figure out kind of what ball I'll be playing here in 2024. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. I will be deleting shots that are errant so that way it doesn't affect the data. All right, so there's 10 shots with the Pro V1X left dash. The wedge did eat up that golf ball. So these wedges are about a year old, but that was perfectly clean. I don't know if that's coming out on the film. Let me try and focus this here. You can see that here. If I could line it up. That did eat up the ball. So let's see how these shells hold up against the other shots, or these shells, these balls. The shell on the golf ball. The ball doesn't seem to be too worn. Still in good shape. All right, so let me go ahead and actually clean this wedge off so that way that doesn't affect the next ball. Let's go ahead and jump down. Let's do the Prov here. All right, so that's 10 with the Prov. The wedge did eat up. These are Vokey wedges, and these aren't brand new. These do have a year, maybe a year and a half play on them. So it did eat that one up too. Not sure if you can see that. What do we have next on the list? Let's take a look at the AVXs. These ones I'll be curious to see how these perform. Again, this is where, at least from what I read last year, that they just weren't performing well. Around the green on these smaller chip shots. All right, let's get 10 in. Oh, it hit the stick! All right, so there's 10 shots with the AVX. I deleted 2. I didn't want them in the data. This ball is showing the most wear. And it did get eaten up as well. This one's not as bad. How do I turn this? You can see that. This one's not as bad. I'd say the Pro V and the X were probably similar, but that ball looks pretty beaten up. All right, what do we have next here on the list? All right, let's do the TP5X. So these balls were sent to me. I've never played Taylormade balls. I don't know how the balls play. I know this is a 5-layer ball. It's redesigned this year. It's supposed to be one of the hottest balls off the face of the club. So I'm actually interested to see how this ball performs and maybe see if this will be a ball that I play this year. This ball feels soft compared to the left dash, which I know is a very hard ball. That pole, that's going to be probably a little lower on the spin. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. All right, let me make sure that's 10. How does that ball look? That ball actually might look the best out of all of them, although the face looks the worst. Looks like it really grabbed that ball. Sorry, I'm trying to line this up. There. After we've gone through all the testing. All right, now here is the coveted left dot. Let's see what this ball does. For those of you that don't know what that ball is, this is what it looks like. I was only able to get 3. I couldn't even get a full case. Let me see if it's going to focus. As you can see down here, the left dot is before the Prov. Kind of like the left dash. Let me grab one of those. So here you can see the left dash right there. And then there is the left dot. And the ball looks the same as the left dash. You know, there's a left dash, a dash, and then a Prov 1, then an X. This is just it's a dot in front of it. Looks like that. All right, let's go ahead and hit this ball. And I hope I don't like this, because these balls are, I don't know, maybe $10 a ball on eBay. All right, I gotta hit the 54. All right, I had to take a little break there just to catch my breath. Let's go ahead and jump in. What do I have this set at? 160 yards. Let's go ahead and hit the 8-iron, and let's see how this performs. Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back. So the battery died, and I was not hitting the 8-iron as great as I like. So we're just going to go ahead and redo the entire 8-iron test. So let's go ahead. You guys already know what I'm doing. Let's just jump right on in. All right, we are going to start. We've got dash selected up here. I think that's the only one we didn't get to. So we're just going to go ahead and start with the left dash with the 8-iron. We are using the same golf balls. All right, here's the left dash. Same thing, 10 shots for all the balls. All right, let's see where the first one. All right, let's switch to the we skipped the Pro V ones, so let's do the Pro V ones. All right, let's do TP5X. All right, and last, let's do the left dots. All right, now let's get to the driver and let's see what we got there. Let's see how we can swing this driver today. A little sore after hitting all those 8-irons. It's a lot of shots. 87, took 87 shots. Definitely got rid of some. Let's take a look here at the driver. Let's go ahead and back this up to 300 yards. As far as the driver goes, I've got the TSI 3 with the Ventus TR shaft in a 7X. I do have it tipped 1/2 inch, and it is 1/2 inch longer. I tend to spin the ball too much. Let's go ahead and let's start with the, let's just start at the top again. Start with the Pro V ones. AVX. Here we go. All right, let's go down the line to the left dash. All right, let's go ahead and jump down to the AVX. This ball, I'm curious to see. The left dash played out kind of just how I played out on the SkyTrack, so. Whew. All right, and the last ball we have in this test is the left dot. All right. All right, guys. So we are done with the ball testing. That was exhausting, and it took me 2 days. If you're going to do this, do not hit 10 balls. Maybe stick with 5 or 3, or have someone with you so I can tell you when you're starting to hit that average. It's tough for me because I'm all by myself here, so I want to make sure I hit 10 of each, but that is exhausting. We're going to jump in the data here. Before we jump in the data and I head into the computer, I did want to jump over to that test that I was talking about earlier. We are going to drop a golf ball. Sorry, I'm out of breath, guys. That was rough. We're going to drop a brand new ball. I'm not going to do the Pro V1 left dots just because you can't buy them, so it doesn't really matter. But I will do the TP5X. So that is a brand new unhit TP5X. We are going to drop that in there. We are going to grab a brand new AVX. We'll go ahead and drop that in there. And let's grab a Prov here. Drop a brand new Prov in there. And then last but not least, I am going to drop a left dash in there. So let me focus this up here, guys. So we've got all 4 golf balls in there. Let me come this way. I'll go ahead and seal this up. Let me focus this back up over here. So we'll come back. We'll check this in a month. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We'll actually see. We've got the numbers. I'll go ahead and save this data and throw it up on the screen. So in a month, I'm sure my swing will change a little bit. But we'll see kind of the numbers that we get. And we'll see if the water ball logged is a myth or if it's true. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump into the data and see what ball we're going to be playing in 2024. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the data here. This is going to be that 56-degree wedge, 75-yard shot. Let's see, looking at the Pro V1, we've got about 89. Let's go to the club data first here. So the club head speed is going to be pretty similar, 69.2, 68.7. That's a little low, 66.7, 66.7. So the first 2 shots are a little high. I level them out for the 8-iron and the driver. But looking at the spin numbers here, we've got 89. I imagine the TP5X would come up a little bit with a faster swing, but that is a little bit on the lower side than what I want. 89 and 88, that's kind of where I'm looking at there. The AVX still looks like a little low with that newer ball. We'll see how the 8-iron and the driver goes. I had some high hopes for the AVX, but we'll get into that here in a second. The TP5X is, I mean, that just looks like it's a little too low. Maybe if we get a lot of rain, I can play the TP5X. I imagine the Pro V1 would be backing up too much, so this may be a good ball to play in the rain. And then the left dot, 82. Again, that's kind of on the low side. It's supposed to be a lower spinning ball. So it did what it did there. Let's go ahead and jump over here into the 8-iron. Let's take a look at the club data. I went ahead and, so what I did is we took 10 shots for each ball. We removed balls that just were bad shots. And then from those 10 good shots, I went ahead and got rid of even some outliers inside of there. So that way we could match up the club head speeds. So that way everything was pretty accurate. As you can see, the efficiency is great with all of the clubs. So jumping over to the ball data, we could see the ball speed. I mean, that TP5X, it is a hot ball. I mean, that was the farthest carrying ball at 172. At 6,500 for the RPMs on an 8-iron though, again, that's lower. The left dot did pretty good here at 7,000. I would like to see that, 65 on the low end to around 7,000. So, I mean, the TP5X is hitting on the low end there. So again, maybe if we got some rain, that would be a decent ball to play. The left dot kind of falls right where I'd like it to be. And the Pro V1 kind of sits there at 68. Looking at these, the Pro V1 is probably the ball I'm going to end up switching to based off just these 2 numbers. Again, there's pros and cons. You can have a better short game ball, better long game ball. Let's go ahead and jump over to the driver here. Again, this TP5X is just a hot ball. It was the farthest carry spin number. So this is some weird data here. So let's take a look at the club data. So I've got the club head speed. I mean, it's almost identical, 113. That's 0.3, 0.6, 0.2. I mean, 113. I mean, that's about as good as you can get as far as keeping everything even. The efficiency, I mean, 145. I mean, those are all crazy close as well. But looking at that, the Pro V1 surprised me with the lowest spin. The AVX I thought was going to be the lowest, but I mean, that's the AVX almost came in at the highest. That's some weird numbers there. The left dash is about 2,500, that's the ball I used to play. I'm used to seeing numbers around that. But the Pro V1 surprised me at 19.3 with the lowest spin numbers. Now, it's not the farthest ball. 3 yards isn't going to kill you. 5 yards isn't going to kill you here. 10 yards, that's a pretty big difference, though. But with that lower spin, it rolled out. I mean, you're talking about a yard difference. And one of my errors is kind of a little push fade, which carries those spin numbers up. So I think the Pro V1 is the ball that I'm going to be looking at, with possibly playing the TP5X, you know, maybe early mornings or after we've gotten some rain, just because of the lower spin. And then again, once you get some rain, you're not going to get as much rollout. So I need a little bit more carry. And so the TP5X might play there. So some interesting numbers here. Again, this is with the GC3. The Max will be coming soon. So we'll be doing the testing again here as well. I will definitely be getting somebody so we don't have to hit 10 shots for each. Just to kind of see if we get the same results. I'd like to do this a couple of times before I actually pick a final ball. And then what I will do is we'll bend some of our irons just so the spin numbers kind of fall where they need to be in our launch angles. But thanks again for watching. If you're still here, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, or if you're interested in looking at what some numbers might be at this ball speed for a certain ball, go ahead and put that down there and we'll go ahead and pick some up and put them in the next test for you. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.